This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Ray Smith. If you are following me on Instagram, you saw that I revamped my year-long membership. I am so fucking excited for this because this is a 12-year commitment and a 1-year commitment, a 12-month commitment. And what's so amazing about this is when you are investing in something and you are committing yourself to an entire year, you are committing yourself to your growth and your evolution. You are declaring to yourself and the universe that you're not going to allow yourself to unplug, to ghost your business, to avoid the discomfort, to jump into the noise when there's silence. Like, it's going to allow you to become the most grounded entrepreneur. And that's going to allow you to open up your creativity so that you can create all of the things that you've wanted to create, so that you can innovate in the industry. And what I love about my membership and what I love about my programs is I only teach evergreen. So you're not going to hear like 20 minutes out of one class just me introducing myself and saying hi. When I am teaching, it is potency. Like, I start off teaching and I don't even introduce myself. I don't tell you my background story. You don't hear the same thing from me 50,000 times. Like, I know that your time is valuable, and like efficiency, I'm a manifesting generator. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised. I don't live there right now, but born and raised New Yorker. Like, efficiency is my keyword. If you were to give me one keyword, I will always say efficient. I value your time. I value my time. And I like to learn in a way that's potent and effective. And I just want to get right into the trainings and the teachings, especially because when I am a student, I will replay the teachings in the background of my life over and over again. One, to tap into the frequency. And here's the thing is, when you tap into a frequency over and over again, when you hear me talk about recoding your cellular DNA, that's what that is. When you are able to hold a new frequency in your body, in your cells, and you're able to hold it for longer periods of time, and you're able to tap into it more quickly and stay into that frequency, that's when you start to change the frequency that you operate from. And that's when you literally change everything that you magnetize in your life. So for me, it's about the frequency, and it is about the programming of my unconscious brain. So when I hear something over and over again, that is rewiring my brain, whether I am consciously doing anything or not. One thing that people do not take, I want to say they take it for granted. It's not that they don't take advantage of it. It could be said both ways, but I want to say that people take it for granted that every single moment that there is information coming into your life, anytime there's a television going on, anytime there is a radio playing, anytime there's a conversation happening, there is information that your unconscious mind is picking up. Your conscious mind is filtering through it through your reticular activating system. So your reticular activating system is only consciously giving you the information that you have told your subconscious mind is important to you, aka the things that you think about and focus on the most frequently. Everything else gets filtered into your unconscious, whether you realize it or not. And that is why I'm somebody who stopped listening to commercials when I was 16 years old. When I was able to get my own car, I turned the radio off. I just turned 34. I've never listened to the radio in my car. I do not have cable. I haven't had cable in I don't even know how long, besides during basketball season when I get the NBA games. Like I don't have any. I will literally mute commercials when they are on, because half of the commercials are about sickness or about things that are going to make you sick if you consume them. So I'm very, very conscious of the things that I'm observing. I'm very, very conscious of what I am taking in energetically and mentally. And I find that not enough people are taking advantage of this. Too many people wake up and turn on the news right away. Too many people wake up and they scroll on their phone right away. Like, you're constantly getting yourself in a state of reaction, which is actually you getting into a state of fight or flight right away. And so many people aren't taking advantage of the fact that they can really be mindful of the things that they're listening to and the conversations that they're hearing and the words that they're hearing. So why I love my mentorship and like my programs is because I don't waste anyone's time. We get right into it and I start teaching, and it's all very potent and it's all very life-changing. So I just renamed and rebranded my year-long membership. It was called Light Year, and it had like this very spacey theme, which felt good in the moment, but it doesn't go with my brand at all. So it just had to be revamped. I was just excited to get it out there, honestly. So it's now called Synergy, and got to shift because there's a puppy. It's now called Synergy, and if you join, you will get access to all of my programs. So I'm not one of those women that's like, okay, so you join and then you don't get access to anything and you'll get access to the programs as they come up. No, you get access to all of my programs. And you also get access to all the upcoming programs. And the way that I do programs is wildly different than most women. Basically everyone, let me rephrase this. I only know one woman, my first mentor ever, who teaches programs the way that I do. So I do not teach live programs. I hilariously decided this past month I was going to start trying to teach live again. And then I cannot tell you how sick I got these past 2 weeks because teaching live is not a vibe. And I actually believe and know that I am standing for showing women how to do business differently. And the fact that women are still teaching live programs through Facebook groups is a whole conversation in and of itself, which I'm going to add a module to in Evergreen, my program that talks about how to create an evergreen digital program. But so what I do is I create a program, and then as I'm launching it and as I am dropping the videos, I will start selling it. So you will see that I'm selling programs, but you're not going to join me on a Zoom call. You're going to get access to the video module and all of the course materials when you sign up. And I'll let you know if it's a pre-sign up. So like if the program hasn't been fully launched yet, if it's the first time. And sometimes I'll just redo a program completely, or sometimes I just add to it. So if you're new to my world, I just wanted to give you a little breakdown of how it works here, because I realize that I haven't explained it on the podcast. And if we're being fully honest, I'm in a program right now with my mentor. And last night it was about boundaries. And while I'm not going to give away her entire boundary process because it's her intellectual property and we don't steal that stuff, right? So, but what I do want to say is a conversation that was brought up is her explaining that you don't want to assume that people know how to be in your world. So since I haven't explained how my programs work on the podcast, I just wanted to lay it down for you. If you're a woman that's been in my world, you know the vibe, you know that you get in and you've got access to everything. You have lifetime access. It never goes away. There's no rush to get into my programs. I honor you where you're at. I do give you a discount when I first start selling the program so that you can get in at a lower rate. And while I drop the other modules or drip the modules based on how the content is, if it's a pre-recorded or if it's one that I just started recording. So that's the vibe. If you want to get into my world right now, what I have ongoing is I Don't Give a Fuck, which is my confidence program. And oh my God, like this program is everything. I'm teaching you about confidence, like unfuckwithable confidence. I'm teaching you how to combat imposter syndrome. Like I'm telling you, you will never feel like an imposter after this program. I'm telling you how to become authentically yourself, and then how to leverage your authenticity so that you can become magnetic for your manifestations, for the clients, for the business, for the success, for the money, all of the things. Like this program is so powerful because it was going to be just to be a coach. And then it was, wait a minute, I realized that I can't just explain to you how to be a powerful coach without explaining you how to be a powerful woman. And then I realized I'm not just building a coaching business. So I also need to speak to the entrepreneurial woman who might not just be a coach. Like you might have a completely different industry, or you might be venturing into a different industry. Because for me, the reason why I don't teach live classes is because I'm building multiple businesses. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and that has always been the goal, and that has always been the vibe. So to be a serial entrepreneur, it just does not make sense for me to teach something 75 times over when I can teach it once potently. And if I gain new wisdom or gain new insight, I can either create a whole new program that meets people where I'm at now, or I can add additional modules so that my clients and students can grow with me and have a deeper understanding as to where I'm at. And the idea is I already trade my time for money while I'm mentoring. I already trade my time for money while I'm having masterminds. So while I teach live programs, I actually don't want to, or while I teach my programs, I actually don't want to teach them live, because that time is investing into me becoming a better coach, becoming a better mentor, becoming a better course creator, becoming a better educator, becoming a better woman, becoming more literate in another topic, something else that can help you, because I'm all about holistic coaching. I really do not believe in micro niching. I understand the value of it, and the way that I do it is I micro niche in a program. This has to be a whole masterclass, I'm now realizing. So I'm not going to elaborate on this too much. But so you'll find that my programs are micro teachings of something, and then I have basically a body of work that is my library. And then you get access to that. And so it's a body of work that is business related, it's energetic related, it's mindset related, it's manifestation related, it's spirituality. It's all of the things that I have found have helped me to love myself, to know myself, to become a spiritual being who's going through ascension while grounding into my human body, doing the trauma work, all of the different things. And so that is really what it's like to be in my world. You get access to everything, you get in it, and then when I am doing something deeper, or when I feel like I've fully embodied it, then I launch a new program, and then you get access to it. So I just wanted to really just throw that out there in case you like just saw my post today and you saw that I said that I don't teach live programs. And if you're new to my world, I know that that's honestly shocking. Like, I get it. I totally do, because you've been conditioned to think that live teaching is the only way to do it. So I would read my post if you want more on that. And I'm going to do an entire module within Evergreen that explains why I do not teach live programs in depth. And so if you're somebody who is like, ooh, that feels really good to me. I haven't really loved the idea of teaching live, but it was just the only way I saw. So I want to invite you to do business differently, especially if you're a woman like me who isn't just building a coaching business. If you are an entrepreneur who wants to be a serial entrepreneur and you want to have multiple businesses, I really want you to set your business up from the beginning in a way that sets you up to scale your business. And I see a lot of women right now that are having to revamp their entire business model because, quite frankly, they didn't know business, and they learned business from a woman who doesn't know business either. She just copied one way a woman was doing business online, and it's actually totally illegitimate in the business world. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. Anyway, I am that business coach that actually went to business school, that actually worked for the government for 8 years, that actually knows business. And I really value myself as a business owner, and I value you as a business owner. So I want you and your business to be protected. And that's why I'm going to be the one that says the things that no one else is saying. And I know that you'll hear me say, if you take I don't give a fuck, that I've always been a trendsetter. And like, I've never had to worry about that. That's just who I am in my nature. And I said at the beginning of this year that I had a prediction that live trainings were going to go away and more people were going to go to Evergreen. And I feel that even more now. And ironically, I'm saying that as a woman who is now in a year-long membership with my mentor, and she teaches all of her programs live, and she teaches the complete opposite way that I would teach any of my students to. And I honestly really love it, because at first I was like, oh no, this is like, that mind drama came up, and I was like, oh no, this is how I'm supposed to be doing it. This is, this is what I need to be doing to make more money in my business. And that's why this month I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to teach live again. And it fucked me up royally. So after a month of me reassessing, I came back to my roots and was like, hello, Alexa, what are you doing? So I also want to tell you, like, I give you permission to explore different options, to maybe think that you were wrong and to try and do things differently. And you might completely change your business model and love it. Or you might realize, like, no, this is why I was doing things the way I was doing it. And even though I don't see anyone else doing it this way, I'm going to trust that the way that I'm doing things is completely right. And like, you have to trust that if you are going to be a trendsetter, if you are going to be a trailblazer, if you are going to be a leader in this industry, that you do actually have to do things differently. And I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel, right? But like, you have to honor your heart and your soul when something doesn't feel aligned in the way that you've seen it happen in the industry or the way that you were taught how to do it. And trust that the reason it's not aligned for you is there's a different and better way for you to do it. And the reason that you feel that way is because you are being called to be a living example and to model a new way for other people. And that's what I'm doing here. I felt like I was stirring the pot a little bit, talking too much about teaching like Evergreen, but I realized in my last mastermind, without even setting the intention that it would be a mastermind to help women create Evergreen courses, sometimes I open them up and then I allow the women to speak, and I see where we're at on the first day. And there's always a collective theme, right? When I used to teach human design classes and give human design readings in a group, there was always a theme of people that would show up, and there are no coincidences, right? So I honor that. And every single woman in there wanted to learn how to do an Evergreen program, and none of them wanted to teach live courses. So sometimes we just get in our head, and that's okay, because sometimes we have to get in our head to question everything so that we can cancel out any remaining limiting beliefs and noise drama, so that we can return back to center and create from the place that we were originally inspired to create from anyway. So one thing that I wanted to talk to you today about is allowing yourself to be initiated into an expansion, be initiated into your next evolution. Here's the thing, is we live in an energetic universe, right? Everything is energy. You, me, everything. Energetically, that's all there is. So there isn't good or bad. There's just negative and positive. And that means on a frequency scale, there's negative, low vibration, there's positive, high vibration. And that's really what it is, right? And life is constantly initiating us into our expansion and into our next evolution. And a lot of the times, I see women and a lot of people, honestly, like just the general public, I see that we aren't actually stepping in and accepting the initiation. Here's the thing is, if you do not expand, you will contract. So when you are initiated into this evolution, it's honestly, it's not going to be through a way that is great, because the only way we grow is through conflict. This is why we live in a dualistic planet. We need to have things happen that we don't want so that it propels us to know what we do want. And I see a lot of the times people, either in manifestation or in business, they will decide that they want to have this goal, they'll decide that they want to do this thing, and then when the universe gives them an opportunity to prove that they are ready for this new standard, that they are ready for for their next lesson, or whatever it is that they're growing towards, or they're saying that they want in their life, whether it's a successful business, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a new car, like whatever it is, whenever you say that you want something, you're going to be given opportunities to prove that you're ready for it. And a lot of people will call it that the universe is testing you. And I honestly do not believe that. And I hate that teaching. And that was what the first manifestation course I ever taught. And I'm telling you, it was a membership that you had to join for 6 months or a year. And the second, I think it was like in the first program, and I had access to multiple, she started teaching me that the universe was testing me. And I literally paid for the program for 6 months or a year, and I only took it for like 2 weeks, because the second she told me that I was being tested by the universe, I was like, the fuck are you smoking? The universe isn't testing me. Like, what? So I do not resonate with that. And I understand that triggers some people. Like, I don't understand why we love the idea of being tested. Is it because we were programmed to be in a factory school system where you're constantly tested and your value and your worth is determined based off of the grade you get? I don't know. It's wild to me. But here's the thing, right? You're not being tested. You're being initiated. You're being invited into your next level. And I see so many people saying that they want a new level. I see them saying, like, I want a 10K month. I want a 20K month. I want 10 more clients. I want 10 more students. I want whatever it is that they want. But then when they get an opportunity to hold space for more people in their life, or to make more money in their business, when it shows up in a way that isn't pretty looking, when it shows up in a way where it's not ideal, they go back to their old way of living. They drop the standard that they say that they've set. They drop whatever manifestation that they say they want to desire. They drop the goal, and they go right back into being, thinking, and acting like they always have. And this is why so many people feel like they're quote unquote stuck in their business or in life, because they keep saying that they want these things, and the universe keeps giving them invitations to invite them into having these things. And then they keep basically saying no. Like, the universe is knocking on your door saying, hey, okay, so here is a conflict resolution that you need to have in your business so that you are available to have 10 more clients in your business. And then instead of actually handling the conflict resolution, you run from it. And then you don't get 10 more clients because you show that you're not ready for the 10 more clients. Do you see what I'm getting there? And when you continuously say that you want something, but then you don't actually allow yourself to upgrade your thinking, your frequency, or to align your actions with that thing that you want, that's when you're basically just slamming your head against a wall energetically, because you're saying that you want all these things, and you're probably saying that you're sick of whatever is currently going on in your situation, in your reality. But are you actually willing to show up as a new version of yourself? Are you willing to go through the discomfort to grow? Are you willing to sit in the silence so that you can actually learn the lessons? Are you willing to really show up for the manifestation, for the goals, for the business, for the life that you are saying that you want? Because I find that a lot of women are saying that they want things, but at the end of the day, they're saying that they want it and then immediately causing an internal conflict because they desire one thing, but their mind is saying that they can't have it. And if you're saying that you want something, but then immediately going into, oh, well, I can't have this because, you're still operating in that matrix reality, in that Newtonian world where you're not actually believing that you can have your desires. And in order for you to create a desire-led business, a desire-led life, you have to let your desires lead. And I think that when we talk about desires, everyone's like, oh my God, so it's going to be so fun and so juicy. No, actually, not always. Like, in order for you to have more money in your business, you have to look at your attachment style with money. In order for you to have more money in your business, you have to look at where you keep giving your power away to money. In order for you to have more clients in your business, you have to look at your personal relationships and whether they are like, how do your personal relationships go? You know what I mean? Because if you're not able to communicate, if you're not able to have long-lasting personal relationships, how are you going to be able to have a long-lasting client relationship? You know what I mean? Like, I'm always going to be the one that tells you that your business is a mirror to your shadows. And I don't really love using the term shadows, but just because I feel like people understand what that is, we'll just leave it there. But you really have to witness the depth of what you were afraid to look at of yourself in order to hold a higher frequency, in order to expand energetically. And what I want you to really get from this is start being honest with yourself. I know that you know what you want. I know that you know what you desire. Are you actually thinking, believing, and moving in alignment with those desires and wants? Or do you want the things and desire the things, but keep telling yourself that it's not possible for you? Because you're the only one that's going to create a magical existence, a magical business, like that big money. The only way it's going to come is if you have a big money mindset, if you have big energetics. And the thing is you need to be able to master your energetics and your energetic signature in order for you to manifest, in order for you to have 100K months in business. Like, there's so many things that we need to release, and a lot of it is our old way of being, our old way of thinking, our old programming. And that's why mindset work never actually goes away. And that's why shadow work never actually goes away. You're meeting yourself at different layers, and you are getting to more depth every time, but you're constantly transcending old beliefs, old patterns, old identities, old ways of being. And I find that the women who have mastered this is what I desire, and immediately cleaning up whatever says that they can't have it so that they can stay in vibrational alignment, so that they can stay in belief, so that they can then take action from this place. This is where I see a lot of people fucking up their manifestations and fucking up their business. Because when you're being invited to expand, you are allowing yourself to contract. And that is actually more painful than you going through the discomfort of growth, because the discomfort of growth has a light at the end of the tunnel because it's a personal liberation and an evolution. Whereas when you continuously allow yourself to contract, you now feel stagnant, you feel dense, you feel heavy, which is literally violating the laws of the universe. So then you start having discomfort, and it can actually grow into disease because you're not allowing your energy to flow through your body properly. And I'm telling you, the more that I learn about energetics, the more that I learn about quantum physics, the more that I learn about the laws of the universe, the fabric of reality. Like, when I tell you that I go fucking deep, I go deeper than most people I've ever fucking met, okay? the things that I study, the teachings that I learn, like most people do not go where I go. And that's why I like kind of feel like I am a shaman in a mentor's cape, because I do walk through the darkness and I show you the light. But the more that I learn these very, very esoteric and ancient wisdom topics, all of these things, the more important I find on our chakras and on our energetics as humans. And if you want to know more about this, I think episode 2 of the podcast, Everything is Energy, that is an actual energetics class that I should have charged someone for. But that one goes really, really deep into energetics on all different levels, from the scientific, from the esoteric, and all of the things. So if you're trying to understand energetics more, I highly suggest that you listen to that episode. But the one thing that I'm really finding has always been true, and especially in the Western world, we've just lost sight of because we were never trained in this, that our chakras are so important. Our alignment is so important. Our energy is so important. And when our chakras get blocked, that's what causes disease in our body and disease in our mind. And that's what causes us to relive Groundhog's Day over and over again. And I find that there isn't enough conversations happening about your chakras being in alignment. And your chakras being in alignment goes hand in hand with your nervous system being regulated. And there's so many other things. And this is why I'll always say I holistically coach, because we can't keep taking pieces out of things. We need to start weaving it all together instead of trying to teach little pieces. Like, let's talk about how it all weaves in to the fabric of reality. Because when you understand that and you become a master creator of your life, that's when you can become a master creator of your business as well. So this is just something that I'm seeing a lot, is that women and men, but I coach women. Women are consistently being invited to expand into a new standard, a new way of life, a new identity, a new success level, a new income level, whatever it is. And time again, the women that are quantum leaping, like, whoa, the women that are having these insanely big cash months, they're the ones that accept the invitation. They understand that it's not always pretty, it's not always fun, and it's exactly what they need to get to where they're going. So I want you to really assess the next time you say you want something, and then the next time your mind comes up or someone in your life tells you that it's not possible, I want you to see how quickly you drop your power and how quickly you contract back to your old energetics. Because when you decide that you want something and it's at a higher vibrational frequency than where you're currently at, the only way for you to get that desire is for you to expand energetically. Like, that's the fucking code. You have to energetically expand to be in the frequency of your desire first, and then your desire comes to you. I had a reel the other day where I told you it defies the laws of the universe for you to be out of vibrational harmony for the thing that you want and expect it to be able to manifest. And that's what we were trained to do as little humans in the matrix. And that's why so many people are miserable and stuck in the matrix. So we've got to start teaching people how to get into the vortex and how to become conscious creators. And this is something that I'm seeing time and time again, is that you are a divine being. You literally are more divinity than you are human. Like, I want you to think about that for a moment. You have a human body and you are living a human experience, but you are a spiritual being who is mostly spirit, who is mostly divine, who is projecting a small part of their consciousness into the 3D and now 4D world as we transcend into the 5D world. That's where we're at. Like, there is no question about that. You're either moving with us or you're asleep to all this. And if you're asleep, you wouldn't be listening to this podcast. So I need you to remember that you are divine and your desires are put in you from the divine. And the only reason your desires are there is it's an energetic breadcrumb from the universe saying, follow me, follow me, follow me. This is where you need to go. Like, it's your highest self, it's your oversoul showing you how to get to where you want to go. Even if you don't necessarily know where you're meant to go, the universe knows. Like, you are divine. You're here for so many reasons and for so many purposes. And if you keep cock blocking your divinity by pretending that you're just this little tiny human who has no power, I just want to shake you. You're not a little tiny human who has no power unless you keep acting and thinking like that. You are the divine. I almost wish that I didn't delete the first season of this podcast, because the first episode was the divinity within you. And that's what the tattoo on my arm in Sanskrit says. I honor the divinity that resides within me. And I get goosebumps every time I say that. And that has been tattooed on my arm since I was 19 years old. And I knew it was going to be tattooed on me since I read it in Eat, Pray, Love when I was 17. So, like, there's so many things here. But I want this to be like an energetic shakeup for you. I want you to start being consciously aware of your energetics throughout the day. Because I know that when I talk about energetics, it can sound kind of esoteric. But the way that I teach it is I can teach you practical energetics so that you can be wherever you've come from in the matrix. And I can meet you there because I'm giving you science. I'm giving you energy. I'm giving you spirituality. I'm giving you a puppy screaming in the background. Okay, I had to go deal with that. She was trying to play with her sister, and her sister didn't want to play with her. Anyway, so I'm going to cut this one short so I can go be a dog mom, plural. I want you to realize that you can consciously be aware of your energetics. And I also want you to start taking that role more seriously. I want you to start being consciously aware of when you desire something and when you cock block yourself from getting it. And I want you to start cleaning that up. This is, of course, what I work with my clients on in depth. So if this is something that you're like, oh, dang, I love this, but I don't know that I'd be able to facilitate this all on my own, then DM me. Like, let's talk about getting into private mentorship, because this is literally gold. When you are able to do this, this is when you become a conscious creator of your life, because you are consciously working with your energetics, and then you have signs when your unconscious patterns are coming up. Oh, see, I got to go be a dog mom. All right, I love you guys so much. Let me know if you have any questions about anything I talked about for any of the programs or anything in my DMs on Instagram. I'll talk with you next time. Gotta go. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.